Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Veronique. In this space, what I do is I test makeup and makeup techniques for mature skin. I am 51 years old and I am a great lover of makeup. I really enjoy wearing it. I love shopping for it too. But what I have found in recent years is that makeup that served me really well in my 20s and 30s no longer serves me all that well today. So I'm always looking for new products just to see how well they work on our mature skin. In today's video, I am going to be showing you a couple of products from Catrice. They're newish products that are actually working really well for me. I'm quite enjoying them. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, you're on the hunt for new makeup, then maybe you'd like to give this video a watch. So without any further chit chat, let's just get into this video, shall we? Alright, I'm just going to pop my hair up, just get it out of my face. It's driving me a little bit crazy at the moment, as long hair sometimes does. Anyway, alright, great, fabulous. So my first product I'm going to look at or show you that I have kind of been enjoying is the Under Eye Brightener Liquid. So I pop this on first before I start my makeup. It comes with a very cute little sponge applicator, not that I use the applicator actually because too much product comes out. So I take a little bit of the product and then, let me get my mirror, and then I just pop it in where the darkness is on the inner corner of my eye. Like so. So while that sets, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop some primer on, and if you know me, you know that I do enjoy a primer. So my skin is a combination skin with an oily T-panel, and I have quite enlarged pores. They bother me. I think out of everything on my face, that's what bothers me the most, that and the pigmentation, but what can we do? So I have been trying out and using the new Extreme Blur Mattifying Primer. It's quite an interesting product. Let me just open it up for you. Hair everywhere. Okay. It is like a gel consistency. Can you see that? No, that's tiny. Okay, let's try a little bit more. And it looks like it's quite thick, but it blends in quite easily actually. So let me just show you on half of my face how well this actually works. So I'm just going to pop it on half the face and rubbing it in just with my fingers. And it's instantly mattifying. It's quite something, and the pores are completely covered. So really cool. Let me quickly pop it on the other side. So testing out this primer, what I have found is that the blurring part of the primer does pretty much hold out for a working day, I'd say, between like 6-7 hours, I'd say. The mattifying part of it doesn't last the entire day. By the end of the day, my face is a bit shiny. So if your skin is very oily, you're going to need to powder throughout the day. But what I love about this one is how it blurs the pores. The mattifying for me is not a massive thing that I'm after. It's the blurring aspect, and I find that it definitely does blur, as you can see, the pores, and it pretty much keeps them blurred for the majority of the day. Right, so now I think this is set, this brightening on my eye, so I'm just going to use my finger and just tap it in a little bit just to blend it a little bit, and you can see it does brighten. It's not an incredibly heavy coverage, but I quite like that, especially for my mature skin. And what I have found is that the product doesn't sit in my lines, but I suppose I'm also just using a really tiny amount of it, and really only where I want the lightness under my eyes, which is just really in the corners there where it's quite dark usually. Yeah, so there we go. So it's a nice product, it doesn't crease, and I quite like that about that. So for my foundation, I'm going to do the Skin Like Tinted Moisturizer. I just recently did a review and a full day wear test of this product. I'll link the video for you if you would like to go and watch that, if you're looking for something that is incredibly lightweight and a very skin-like finish. So I'm going to pop this on. I'm going to do it off camera, and I'll see you in half a second. What I enjoy about the Tinted Moisturizer is that it gives a very natural look to the skin. It looks like your skin, but better. It looks like it's got a little bit of a filter on. I quite enjoy the finish of the Tinted Moisturizer. I really do enjoy it with the mattifying primer underneath, so it's not too shiny and too dewy. I don't take this down too much on my neck because I have found that it does settle in the lines on my neck. It Doesn't settle too much in the lines on my face, which is quite nice. I will be setting this with a little bit of powder and a finishing spray or setting spray at the end of my makeup, and then that helps a little bit with the longevity of the wear time of the tinted moisturizer. So while that sets down on my skin, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to use the new Shape and Shade eyebrow pencil, and I got the shade Roasted Almond. Typically I quite enjoy a very skinny little brow pencil, but this one is a little bit thicker, and it has an angled applicator, which I don't really use, but I do quite enjoy the fact that it has quite a nice and thick spoolie on the end. I found the shade quite nice, and the pencil is very, very easy to use. Let me show you. The pencil very easy to blend, and the color lasts all day, so it's a really nice one. I quite enjoy it, and I really do enjoy the thick spoolie. I find it blends out the product very, very nicely, and the color is really great too. Next one I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to do my eye makeup before I do the rest of my complexion. I just want the moisturizer just to set down really nicely. So they've come out, I'm just trying to find it where I put it on my table. They've come out with cute little daily duo eyeshadows. So I picked up 2 of them. I picked up Everyday Nude as well as Deep Nude. I will say that the Everyday Nude seems to work better on my eyelids than what the Deep Nude does. I wore this yesterday. I'm just going to show you quickly. On the left side of my face, I did not put an eyeshadow primer, and the product creases quite significantly. On the right side, I did use quite a good quality eyeshadow primer, and it seemed to have stayed a bit better. But every time I have worn the shade, and it's just such a lovely brown, it just creases quite significantly. The shimmer shade is lovely as well. So it's very nice as a topper. So, but unfortunately the brown creases terribly on my eyelids. So if you have crepey eyelids like me, then I think maybe either use a really, really good eyeshadow primer, or perhaps avoid it and we look for another dark brown. But the little daily duo of the Everyday Nude is actually quite lovely. Let me just show you. I'm going to get my little pencil quick. It's a very subtle colour. So let's pop that on. I just have got some concealer on my eyelid just to prep the eyelid a little bit. But you can see it's like a barely there colour, which I think if you're looking for just easy stuff to do in the morning, it works quite well. I quite like the look that it's subtle. Let's just pop a little bit of the shimmer shade on. Just dab a little bit off. I like to use my fingers with the shimmer shade. And I'm just going to pop it in the center of my eye. Okay, let's do the other one. Those are my eyes done. I couldn't find a new mascara from Catrice. I haven't actually found one from Catrice that I really enjoy, to be honest. So I just popped the Panorama Millions of Lashes, what's it called? Million Lashes in the burgundy on. I really enjoy this color. Oh, I love it on my hazel eyes. Right, let's get cracking with our complexion. So I'm going to start now just with my contouring, and I have been loving the Sculpt and Charm contour stick, and I found the shade 0001. Has it got a name? Oh, sorry, 010 called Ash. And this works incredibly well for my skin type. It's quite a cool brown. Let me show you how I've been using it. So I just go above my cheekbone just to give me a little bit of a lifted look. Tiny bit on my nose. And then just to try and hide the old double chin. Do the other side. I find this one very, very similar to the Fenty Beauty, the matchsticks and I'm a massive fan of that. Sorry, I'm like a little bit distracted trying to look for my brush. Alright, let me show you how easy this blends in. It's great. They did have some other shades, you know, more like a bronzer shade, and they had some unusual blush shades. So for me, I didn't enjoy any of the blush shades. For me, this is the one that works quite nicely for me. It was the only one I was really drawn to. I found a different blush, which I'll show you now. Here we go. I'm going to just do a tiny little bit on my lips as well, just to contour there. Just top and bottom. I find that it just gives the illusion of a little bit of a fuller lip. Excuse the dog. I only have one in the studio with me today. I've closed the door, and old Walter Bassett is, I'm sure you've heard him sniffing at the door, but I just needed my space today. Okay, there we go. That is my contour done. I think out of all of them, this is a favorite. In terms of cream bronzer, I don't think this is new, but it's the first time that I've actually found it, and it's the Melted Sun cream bronzer, and I got the shade Beach Nude 020, and I must say I actually really enjoy this. My favorite one is one from Benefit, but this one comes a close second, I will say that, and it's very, very easy to blend. So I just pat my brush in, get my product, just going to take the little excess off, and I'm just going to pop that on and have a look and see. It's such a pretty shade, and actually it's quite subtle, which I quite like, so it doesn't look too plastic, but I really do quite like it, and it's really easy to blend, and it's easy to build up, which I quite like. Instantly healthy. What I do like to do is whatever's left on my brush, then I just pop that in my crease, just to give a little bit of dimension on my eyes. There we go. How pretty is that? Look, it really is quite lovely. My next step is going to be the blush. But before I pop my blush on, I'm going to just take the concealer, and I'm using the Instant Bright Serum Concealer. And this is the shade, oh my gracious, I can't see what the shade is. Oh, it's on the side. 020W. So I'm just going to pop this. I don't want too much. Just going to pop it on the corner there, on the other side. Can you hear the sniffing? He's beside himself. I can't believe he's been locked out today. Okay, I'm going to let that set for a little bit. I have found that if it's a really nice creamy consistency, if I let my concealer sit for a little bit, I get better coverage. So I'm going to let that set, and while I'm letting that set, I'm going to take the blush. And this is called the, oh my gracious, it's so tiny, man. Velvet Pudding Blurring Blush. Okay, and the shade I've got is 10 Raspberry Fudge. Ew, it's tiny. Okay, that's not made for the mature eye. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's very pigmented. So what I've been doing is I take a little bit on my finger, and I'm just gonna now pop it on. I don't do the apples of my cheeks anymore because I just find that drags my face down. So I'm just going to pop it just a little higher up. How lovely. I am going to just take a little bit underneath my eye because I find that colour corrects a little bit. So when I blend out my concealer, then it covers really nicely. Let's pop it on the other side. I've just brought what's left on my fingers just onto my forehead, just to bring a little bit of life into my forehead. There we go. I'm really enjoying this one. It's really lovely. I am going to set it with a powder blush. I do find maybe cream products generally do need to be set. So I'm quite enjoying this one though. It's really lovely. Okay, now it's time to blend out my concealer. So here we go. Just going to bring it down a little bit. I'll just take the excess off with my sponge. There we go. I'd say it's a medium coverage. I think you could build it if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that because the more product I put underneath my eyes, the more it cakes and sits in the lines. Let me quickly blend out the other side. I'm going to let that sit a little bit. It is going to collect into the fine lines underneath my eyes. It's pretty normal. That's what all cream products do. But I did wear this yesterday. Let me just quickly show you. So it did wear off a little bit on the inner corner of my eye, but for the most part it stayed where it was. It did crease a little bit during the day, but it wasn't anything too noticeable. So, I mean, it's an okay concealer. I don't think it's a very bad one. It does what it needs to do. So while that is setting, I'm going to now pop a little bit of bronzer on just to set the cream bronzer, and I'm going to be using the Butter Like Bronze and Contour. I chose the shade Shape It My Way 020. What I will do is I will mention all of the shades that I have used in the description box if you are interested. Okay, so I haven't really been using the contour powder. It's not really my thing. I find it a little bit muddy, but I do enjoy the bronzer shade. So I'm going to just pop it onto my brush, tap off the excess, and then again onto my hand, and then I'm just going to take what's left now and just pop that on. I just find that technique really helps me get a very smooth finish to the bronzer, and also then it's not loaded up. Let's do the other one. Okay, I can't handle the groaning. I'm just going to let Walter in. We have peace. Walter is inside. There we go. All right. Next one, blush. So I love this one. This is the On Cloud Pink, and unfortunately the name has rubbed off. What is it? Soft. It's a baked blush, but I'll see if I can find the name. I'll look online and then I will just pop that in the description box. I just love this shade. It's just so beautiful, and it's got a little bit of a highlighter in it, which I really enjoy. So I just take a little bit on my brush, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna stamp that just where the other one was. Oh, just look how beautiful it is. It's so pretty. Really is my favorite. It actually reminds me a lot of the blush by NARS, Orgasm. Very similar shade. I wouldn't say it's a direct dupe, but I would say it's similar. It's beautiful. I'm going to take what's left and just pop that in the crease of my eyes. Perfect. Right, let's have a look at what these under eyes are doing. Okay, product hasn't creased too much, which is good. So I'm just going to take that, what has creased, and just blend it out a little bit more, because Catrice have brought out a brightening under eye setting powder. I find if you use a very little bit of it, it actually works quite nicely. So I'm just going to give it a quick little shake just to get some in the lid. And I'm going to take my little brush, really just get it in there, and then tap the majority of it out and make sure that there's no creases. And then I'm just going to tuck my eye down a little bit so that there's no lines, if you know what I'm saying. So like that, and then just gently set that. Let's do the other side. Next one is going to be the Bright and Blur Airbrush powder. I've got the shade Pink Luminous. I thought it might be very similar to Huda Beauty's new pressed powder, but this one is a little bit different because, well, I think it's got Luminous in the name. I think that it has a little bit of a highlighter. Let me just pop it on that you can have a look and see. I wonder if it'll come through on camera. I think its goal is to refract the light. I am when I first used it, I used quite a heavy hand with my powder puff, and it just looked like where I had popped it, it was like there was a light on my face. So I'm going to use my little brush, tap the excess off, and all I'm going to do is just set the side of my face and just inside the fold here. And if you have a look, it's very subtle, but there is definitely a bit of a light that's shining there. So I think it's like, just gives you the brightness effect, if that is what you're after. I'm not a fan of this underneath my eyes. I just find, oh my word, I'm so sorry. He's eventually fallen asleep, poor little guy. Okay, I just find, let me get back to my powder. If I pop it underneath my eyes, for me, it's just too shiny. But I don't mind this just to set my powder on my T panel. I do think that the Huda Beauty powder is a better one actually, but it is a totally different price point. You know, the more that I use this, I actually think I don't like it. Actually looking at it underneath the lights, because I haven't done that before, I don't like that at all. This one is definitely going to be a pass for me. I do not like how actually all I can see is just this area here. So it hasn't blurred the pores, or it hasn't blurred on my face at all. In fact, I actually think that it just emphasizes the texture there. What do you think? Oh, no. This one is a no-go. Don't like this one. Right, well, it's a good thing I popped it on under the lights today. What a disappointment. Okay, almost there. I've got 3 more steps to go. Next one is going to be lip liners. So the lip liners that they've brought out are the Gel Glide Long Lasting Lip Liner. They are fantastic. I bought myself 2 shades. I bought one and then I went and bought another one. So I bought Drip the Drama, which is what I'm going to wear today. It's like a beautiful, like mauve pinky color. And then I got, what's the other one? Latte Lines. This is divine as well. It's a lovely, like nudie pinky brownie color. So I am going to use the pinky one. Let's pop that on quick. What I will say for this, for these liners, is that they don't bleed into our lip lines, which is fantastic. The only time that it has bled is if I've used like a lip gloss on top of it. Then it does bleed in, but it doesn't bleed in if you use a lipstick. And the glass-like lipsticks, the gloss sticks from Catrice are stunning. I got the shade Talk Hibiscus to me, number 30, and oh, this one goes so beautifully with this lip liner. And they are so comfortable to wear. They really are lovely. In terms of long lasting, I will say that the lip liner is long lasting. It does last pretty much the whole day. What I do sometimes do is I will use it and I just color my whole lip in. The outer line stays for a very long time, but obviously on the inside of my mouth, if I've eaten something, then obviously it does wear off. But I'm very impressed with these lip liners, and they are just so soft. You saw how easy it was to go on, and very, very blendable. Right, that is everything that is new on my face. Last one is going to be the Tensational 10-in-1 setting spray. It's okay. I can't think that it's groundbreaking. It does what it needs to do, and what I wanted to do today is just to set the powder, especially the powder that is underneath my eyes. It's not a bad spray. It's pretty nice. It's not too strong in my face. It's quite fine. And it says that it is 24-hour oil blocking, hydration, it's priming, makeup setting, refreshing, long lasting, pore blurring effect, suitable for all skin types, alcohol free, natural glowy finish. Here we go. Well, let's take the hair out. Those are some of the new products that have been launched from Catrice, and as you can see, quite a lot of them worked really well, other than the Bright and Blur Airbrush powder. Oh my word, I've been wearing this I've been looking like a glazed donut. I mean, oh my gracious. I'm glad I popped it on under the lights for you, but no, that's definitely not one I would recommend. But the rest of them, I've really enjoyed wearing them actually, and I find Catrice to be a very, very affordable brand. In fact, I think it's one of the most affordable brands out there other than Essence. I don't think any product here cost me more than 150 Rand per product actually, if I think about it. So yeah, really good value for money, and my makeup lasts me all day. So it's not like you're paying your money for a affordable product and it's off by 12 o'clock in the afternoon once you've popped it on in the morning. My makeup lasts me all day. So there we go. That is it. Tell me, have you tried anything new from Catrice? What was your favorite product? Have you tried any of these? Did any of them work for you? Did anybody try this bright and blue powder? Let me know in the comments below. It'd be awesome to hear from you. Well, that is it from me for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, won't you consider subscribing to my channel? That would be just so awesome to have you as part of our community. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.